Hello, ladies. So we are in week 1, day 1 of September. So this is Monday the 6th. If you have never been with me before, this is where you're going to get all the demonstrations for every exercise, the breakdown of everything, explanations, tips, tricks, modifications, if you have an injury or you just can't do certain things. All of that is in these demo videos. So as I wrote in my welcome post, some of them are longer than others. Skip through where you can. I do it in a new format now where I try to do a quick little demo of each exercise so that if you've been with me before and you might recognize the name but you don't remember the move, you'll be able to just see it really quick and then you can move on. If you are totally new or it's a new move for you, you can continue on watching and I'll give an in-depth explanation. I also changed my workout schedule papers, so you now have a timers paper on the end of your workout schedule, which is explaining exactly how to input everything with the exact name and all of that information, so I don't have to explain it in the videos. And then I also just tried to add some more wording onto the workout sheets, so there's less I have to explain in the videos, okay? So let's begin. We have weighted sumo squat, kneel to squat, frog style bridge, alternating reverse lunge. So weighted sumo squat, back up a little bit. Kneel to squat. So this is gonna be a little tricky for me because I did hurt my knee. Okay. Frog style bridge. So it's our regular bridge, except instead of your feet being like this, you're gonna kind of have them like together. So your legs are bowing out like a frog. And alternating reverse lunge. Okay, so if you are new, you'll notice that there's different formats. So this workout is a rounds format. That means you're performing everything under the underline where it says 4, 5, or 6 rounds, everything underneath that, you're performing 4, 5, or 6 times, depending on whatever you pick. So everything always goes in order. So you're not gonna do, say you pick 4 rounds, you're not gonna do 40 sumo squats, then move on, do 40 kneel squat. It's always 10, 10, 10, 20. That's 1 round. 10, 10, 10, 20 is 2 rounds, okay? So it always goes down the list. And then I try to separate the different parts of the workouts by the star and the underline. So the next part that says butt kicks is not part of the rounds workout, okay? They're separate. So our weighted sumo squat, you can use whatever weight you want. You can do it with no weight if you want. You could use a kettlebell if you had it. I usually just hold one in the center. You could do it however really you want. You could hold one up here. It's whatever's comfortable for you to hold the weight. I typically just hold a dumbbell like this by the top part. And with your sumo squat, you're pointing your toes outward. So a regular squat, your feet would be a little bit closer together and your toes would point forward. Your sumo, you can technically do a more narrow sumo, but you usually want to get a little bit wider. It doesn't have to be super wide, it has to be comfortable. And then your toes are going to point outward. So what that does is it shifts the, I don't want to say the strain, I guess maybe, from the front of your leg to the more inside of your thigh. So that's what the sumo is targeting. So when you go down, you should feel the inside of your thighs pulling. So I usually put the dumbbell right in the middle and I just drop right down. So like I said, I feel all of this pulling, whereas if I was in a regular squat, I'd feel it on the top. So you should feel it on the inside and up. 1, down, up, okay? So with that, you always want to make sure that when you sink down, whatever squat you're doing, that your back stays relatively upright. So you shouldn't be squatting like this. There's really no need to do that. And if you're not keeping your back straight and you end up rounding your shoulders, you're gonna start to put strain on your lower back and then you're gonna wonder why it hurts. So as much as you can, keep your shoulders upright and just sink down at the knees and keep everything pretty much where it is. If you have to use a chair, this could be because you have bad knees, or if you're new to squatting and you're not sure how far down to go, or you don't think you're going far enough, you think you're going too far, if you have a bench or a chair, it's gonna stop you, okay? So with the sumo, or with any squat, regular squat, sumo squat, weighted squat, any squats that we do in this program, you can use a chair and you can do tap and go, or you can do full sit. So I'm gonna do my sumo stance with my toes pointed outward, and I'm just gonna tap and go. So when my butt taps the chair, I know to stand up, okay? If I have to do a full sit, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna keep my posture, I'm not gonna sink into sitting position, I'm gonna keep my posture, stand. Full sit, stand, okay? So again, any squatting type of thing that we do in this program can always be done with the use of a chair, with tap and go, or full sit, okay? And of course, you can do no weights. Then we have kneel to squat. So as I mentioned, I hurt my knee previously. It's like underneath my kneecap, so if I can get on it like the right way, it's fine. If I move a little bit too forward, it hurts. So you can use a chair to help you on the side of you if you need it, like say you feel like you don't have a lot of balance, or if you are very overweight from what you're used to being, you might have trouble getting off the floor, especially from a kneeling position, or if you have bad knees. So you might want to keep your chair next to you. So your kneel to squat is just how it sounds. You're kneeling and then you're squatting. So with this one, you have a starting leg. So in parentheses, I put per. That means per side, per arm, per leg, whatever it is. So with this one, you're gonna pick. I'm gonna start with my right side. So that means I'm gonna step up with my right foot, step up with my left into a squat position. Then I'm gonna drop back down, 1. Up with my right, up with my left into a squat, step back down into my kneel, back down, 2. Okay, I'll show you from the side. Right up, left up into my squat, down, down, 1. Right, left, down, down, 2. Okay, so you'll find how it feels comfortable. Like I like to be up on my toes. You could do it flat-toed. You might want to step up with your right, down with your right. It doesn't matter. You'll find however it's comfortable for you, but you have to make sure that you do all of those 10 starts with your right leg. Then you're going to switch, do all 10 starts with your left side. So like I said, if you need balance or you have a little bit of trouble, there's not an issue with using the chair next to you for balance or to help push, as long as you remain in that squat position when you get to the top. So you don't want to come up and like stand or whatever. You want to keep down in that squat position, up, up. So you're staying low, okay? And like I said, you'll get used to a little pattern or however is comfortable for you. But that is your kneel to squat. If you want to get crazy, you can also hold a dumbbell in front of you and you do it weighted. Frog style bridge. So a lot of people have probably done bridges before. So I'm going to show you what the regular bridge looks like. So you have your feet in front of you, your knees are bent, your head is going to be on the ground, and you're just going to squeeze up your butt, lift your hips, and back down. Up, down. That's your regular bridge, okay? I'll show it to you from the front so that you can see what I'm about to change. So this is your regular bridge, okay? Frog, you're going to collapse your legs, okay? So your feet, you'll figure out like if your feet need to be totally together, if you need a little bit of space, but they're gonna be together. Your legs are gonna go out like frog legs and you're gonna lift up. So you're not lifting super high, but it's gonna target a different part of your butt with having your legs like that, okay? So see, I'm not that high off the ground, but my hips are as high as I can get them. My butt is squeezed really tight, down, up, down. And with bridges, you're gonna feel it in your lower back as well. I think with the frog style, I feel it more in my lower back. So if that is gonna be a problem for you, just go to your regular bridge, okay? And then we have our alternating reverse lunges. So that means whatever number of reps is in front of your exercise. So for this one is 20, and it's alternating. That means you're just going to count to 20, even though you're doing both sides. So with our kneel to squat, it's really confusing to switch legs every other time, especially if you've never done it before, you're not used to it. So that's why we did all starting 10 on the right, then we switched and did the left. With alternating, that means you're just going back and forth, okay? So lunges is a really easy exercise to alternate. So it's gonna just count to 20 and alternate and we're doing reverse, which means you're going backwards. So if you've never done a lunge before, it's gonna look like this. Then switch. Switch. So like I said, you're just gonna count up to 20, and you're gonna keep alternating, and you're stepping backward. So tips for your lunges. Again, you could also keep a chair next to you if you feel like you need extra balance, that's fine. You just wanna make sure you're not like leaning on the chair, just hold on to it just for your balance and keep upright. But with your lunge, you're starting with your feet fairly close together, like normal width, and you're stepping backward. So when you step backward, you wanna keep your foot in the same lane that it's in right now. So if my feet are about this far apart, when I step backward, I'm still about that far apart. See how you can see this foot? You don't want to step back and stack your feet. Now you can't see my other foot, okay? So you need to keep that stability. So you're gonna step back, kind of in the same lane you were just in, and then you're gonna sink down, stand up, okay? So your legs should be around a 90-degree angle, okay? That's where you should be in your lunge. Your back should be straight. You shouldn't be lunging down like this. You don't want to overarch and see kind of straighten out that back leg. You want to just sink down where you are. Keep your shoulders upright, okay? And then again, like I said, you're just going to alternate. You want to make sure you also don't slam down and slam your kneecaps. Luckily, I have carpet, so if I do hit my knees, it's not a big deal. So you're going to rotate through those. Also, again, you could hold dumbbells in your hand if you wanted to do weighted lunges. You're gonna rotate through those for your rounds portion, and then you're gonna move on to part 2, which is butt kicks. So if you've never done butt kick before, it's like running in place, but you're making sure that the heels of your feet are touching your butt. Hear it? So that's what you should be doing, okay? So the difference really, if you're like, well, I don't get what that is by kicking your butt, it's kind of like doing this stretch, right? So you're pulling all the front of your leg versus if you were to run in place, you're not really like stretching that area. So when you butt kick, you're really pulling the front of your leg, okay? So what you're gonna do, like it says on the paper, open up Tabata timer, hit start. So Tabata is 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So it's gonna start, you're gonna do your butt kicks for 20 seconds, rest for 10 seconds. Butt kick 20 second, rest for 10 second for 8 rounds, okay? So Tabatas are quick, but they're tiring because even though it's only 20 on, 10 off, there's 8 rounds of them. So it's a little lengthy for a timer, and you get such short rest. So you'll notice, like, typically we modify the timer to what we want it to be, but this time we're just doing the straight up Tabata, so it's gonna be a little bit tiring. So if you have any questions on the timer and this doesn't help you and your timers page doesn't help you, there is a timers video that I still have that I still post. If that doesn't help you, please reach out and I will help you. But that is your first workout.